Hey, River Glen, as we enter this season of Move, we're excited about the opportunity and the challenge to live out a bold faith through putting God first in our generosity. To help us do that, we're providing you with this commitment card as a discipleship tool. Each of us might use this card in different ways as we pray through our commitment, but I wanted to just take some time and walk through it with you as you seek to pray and discern how God will call you to give. If you open up the card, you'll see a worksheet area on top on the front side. We've created this worksheet to help you think and pray through your commitment, although you don't need to fill out every line. The only box that we want to ask you to fill out is the bottom box here. Our primary goal and prayer is that 100% of us will be open to God's heart for generosity and declare Jesus as first in our lives. As you look down at this bottom box before you make your final commitment, ask yourself this question: does this commitment show a bold move in generosity and declaring Jesus as first above all else? So let me walk you through this card and let this be a guide to you as you think and pray through your commitment. The first box says what I normally give in 1 year. Now, this is where you're going to include what your typical giving is in a year. Move is a one-fund initiative, meaning that it includes our total giving, not just our extra or expanded giving. So we want to begin this journey by celebrating what you're already doing in generosity. For some, this first box may not have a number in it yet, and that's okay. You're beginning your giving journey for the first time through this initiative, and I want to affirm this very important step of faith. The second box says my expanded generosity as part of the Move initiative. Now we want you to spend time praying and asking God, how are you asking me to grow and expand so that I'm truly giving my first and best in the area of my generosity? Wrestle and ask God the tough questions. Pray for boldness. Ask yourself, is my giving truly governing my spending and saving? Or does my spending and saving govern and direct my giving? Be as honest as you can as you seek to reflect the way in which God is asking you to expand your generosity during this season. We're then going to add those two boxes, those first two boxes, normal giving and expanded annual generosity during Move, and enter that total in the third box, and then we'll multiply it by 2 since this is a 2-year initiative. Next is a very important box, the Gifts from Stored Resources box. We often consider generosity in terms of what God will give us over the next 2 years, mostly through our income. Having bold faith means thinking about all that God has already given us in the past, our stored resources. If we want to honor God in all things, then we need to ask ourselves if we're honoring God in this Move commitment, not just with what He will give us over the next 2 years, but what He's already given us in our stored resources. Everyone has a stored resource. For some of us, it might mean something like cash savings, retirement accounts, property, or stock. For others of us, it could mean possessions, something that God's given you in the past that could be best used to honor Him. If you're struggling with what your stored resources might be, I often find it helpful to list out some of your most significant possessions. Your savings, stock, and property should go on this list, as well as your personal possessions. Then begin to work through this list in prayer and ask God, am I honoring you with this resource? For many of these items, the answer might be yes, and so you should keep that resource and keep honoring God with it. Don't sell your home if you're honoring God with it, having a small group in it, or letting people stay on your couch or in your guest bedroom if they need a place to crash. But if you aren't honoring God with your home, and if your home has become a source of pride or selfishness or accomplishment, then God will likely reveal to you one of 2 outcomes. You either need to start redeeming that home and start honoring Him with it, or you need to release that home and get into a home you can honor Him with. I want to encourage you to go through this prayer time with each one of your stored resources. And when you find you aren't honoring God with a particular resource, ask Him to move you to generosity in that area, whether you need to redeem that resource and start honoring Him with it, or release that resource and honor Him by giving those funds directly to His mission to expand His kingdom. Finally, add everything together at the bottom, this is your total 2-year move commitment amount. Again, ask the question, does this commitment truly reflect that I'm moving with Jesus in this season so that I'm orienting my other priorities around him and not letting my predetermined priorities affect what I'll give to him? Is this truly demonstrating that I'm putting God first? Only you will know the answer to that question. If you're married, your spouse will probably know the answer too, so I encourage you to pray deeply during this season and make your decision together. If you're not married, it's a great opportunity to circle up with some friends and family you trust, a small group, or a mentor, to process and pray deeply about this decision. I also want to draw your attention to the gift chart on the back of the card. For many of you, this chart will be helpful as you think and pray through what move looks like in your life. Allow God to stretch your faith in bold ways through praying through this chart, and allow it to be something that inspires you and challenges you toward greater generosity in this season so that we can connect more people to God and more people to others. So boldly fill out that info box before you turn your card in on commitment weekend. Speaking of which, if you're ready to commit early, I want you to join us for a very special advanced commitment night at our Waukesha campus on November 3rd. We'll be gathering together from all our campuses, from all our locations, to make our commitments early and inspire the rest of the church. And if you're ready to commit early, I would love for you to join us. You don't want to miss out on this. Then all of us will commit together as a church on November 16th and 17th during our normal weekend gatherings. I pray this will be a historic and catalytic day in the life of our church. River Glen, I'm praying this season of Move is an incredible time of growth in our walk with Jesus. When we follow Jesus with boldness, he will do more than we could ever ask or imagine. Please note that Marnie and I are standing alongside of you in this and are praying diligently about how God is moving us. I trust God will move boldly during this time in you as well as in our church. And I cannot wait to see all that God will do. I'm so grateful for you, and I'll see you soon.